Welcome back to the next episode of All Ball Media. Today is February 17th, Monday, aka President's Day. So here in America, we look back at our presidents. But as far as going over what we're going to be covering in today's episode, we'll be going over a nice recap of the Genesis. We'll also be going into a nice little bit of information and update on the scoreboards for the TGL and those events that will be happening today. We have 3 today and 1 tomorrow, so a bigger week for the TGL than traditionally. We'll also be going over the recap of the All-Star Weekend that just took place, highlighting a little bit more of the events and how those games ended up going. Followed by, we'll also be covering more of the college basketball for the men's and women's side, some of the upsets that happened this weekend, as well as a good dive into the college baseball and college softball realm. I do want to finish with covering the Four Nations tournament, because that was crazy, as well as more into the Unrivaled series that we were talking about on Friday. So, stay tuned. This one's going to be a good one. I really hope you watched a lot of these games this weekend because, ooh-wee, what a time to be alive. Let's go. Going into the Genesis Invitational this weekend, the winner was Ludwig Aberg with a score of 12 under. He balled out. And the most clutch possible part of the game, he needed a birdie on 18. He was tied with Mr. Maverick McNeely. And he birdied it, sure enough, and he won the tournament. The top 5, basically, I just wanted to mention. Like I said, Maverick McNeely was 11 under with 9 birdies and a bogey. Ludwig had 8 birdies and 2 bogeys, but he really needed that birdie on 18, so very good. Scotty Scheffler finished tied for 3rd, 9 under. On the day, he had 7 birdies and only 2 bogeys. Tied with him is also Patrick Rogers at 9 under with 4 birdies and 3 bogeys. Tied for 5th, Tony Finau, 8 under, 5 birdies, 1 bogey. Patrick Cantlay also tied for 5th at 8 under, 7 birdies, 3 bogeys. Bit of a card for Patrick that day. Tied in 5th as well, I wanted to say it was Tommy Fleetwood with 8 under, naturally, 7 birdies and 3 bogeys. And then the last person rounding out that tied for 5th place was Denny McCarthy with, you'd guess it, a score of 8 under. He had 1 eagle, he had 2 birdies, and he had 3 bogeys on the day. And then naturally, wanted to shout out Ricky. He finished with the score of 2 under, not bad, made the weekend. Way to stay up, champ. We love you. I just wanted to go over how this craziness on the golf course was on that Thursday-Friday stretch just a little bit with the weather. But then it ended up being a real nice day of golfing for the weekend. So the way to catch that end of the weather is really helpful, especially on these more so at the will of Mother Nature's courses. I wanted to highlight how the Farmers Open or Insurance Open was only about 4 weeks ago, and the winner of that was Harris English with a score of 8 under. And yeah, that's kind of crazy. That, I mean, just off by a bit, by a margin of 4, but I mean, I was looking back at the top score, even like the top 15 golfers. Completely different. Half of these guys weren't even competing in it. They weren't even placing. It was just really early in the season. It was probably about like the 3rd or 4th event of the year. So I mean, to see everybody going, especially being healthy right now early on. I mean, with the exception of Scotty missing a bit of time early with the hand, but he's back and rolling, being tied for 3rd in there for a good bit. He made it close. He had a comeback. He was hunting at the end, from the sand, from wherever. He was doing his job. But as far as the week, the next thing we'll be going over is the TGL. Today we have 3 events. It will be Atlanta versus LA, Atlanta once again versus the Bay versus Boston to finish the night. recumbus the night, if you will. The Atlanta-LA game will be at 1 p.m. Eastern. The Atlanta-The Bay game will be at 4 p.m. Eastern. And the Bay versus Boston will be at 7 p.m. Eastern. For all those games, for the first one, I'd lean Atlanta. For the second one, I'd lean Atlanta. And for the last one, I'd lean Boston. Personally, I think those guys are on a good one, especially because most of that team made the cut. As far as the standings and the teams, if you're not aware of what the TGL is, once again, similar to the Unrivaled League, we have a new league that is made by the players for the players. And so what we have is an indoor facility where all these gentlemen get together, at least your team if you're scheduled to play that day, and you'll play a simulated round of golf. They'll play 9 rounds, alternate shot, and then they'll play the remaining rounds 1v1. As far as the standings and the teams go, for Atlanta you have Justin Thomas, Patrick Cantley, Billy Herschel, and Lucas Glover. Boston you have Rory, Hideki Matsuyama, Keegan Bradley, and Adam Scott. For Jupiter Golf, we have Tiger Woods, Max Homa, Tom Kim, and Kevin Kistner. For LA, we have Colin Morikawa, Sahid Theegala, Justin Rose, and Tommy Fleetwood. For New York, we have Matt Fitzpatrick, Ricky Fowler, Xander Schauffele, and Cameron Young. And then to finish it all off with the final 6th team, we have the Bay with Ludwig Aberg, Wyndham Clark, Winwoo Lee, and Shane Lowry. The current leaderboard is Los Angeles is 2-0-0, the Bay is 1-0-0, Atlanta's also 1-0-0, Jupiter's 1-1-0, Boston is 0-0-1, and New York is 0-2-0. We also have another game tomorrow, which will be February 18th, and that will be Jupiter versus New York. New York could really use a win. They really haven't done that great. I don't know if it's just the indoor play or if it's those greens or what it really is, but it seems like they could just use a little get them up, pick them up, brag your shoulders off. You know what I'm saying? As far as the remainder of this week, that's pretty much all it is. Typically, these events and this league does take place early in the week, so it doesn't conflict too much with that PGA schedule, especially because it is in Florida, and early in the season right now, we're on the West Coast. So a lot of these gentlemen are going to be flying over they probably flew over last night. If not, they're flying over this morning. As far as the play, it stays consistent. The course is kind of automated. It has its own course holes and setups and everything. So the more you play, the more consistent you'll become with it, I assume, unless they do have plans of changing the course. But as far as I've seen, every time they play, it's the same course, and then the only thing that might change is the greens, just because they have the undulation machine. Pretty cool stuff. What a time to be alive. That will be all we have to say for the TGL today. We'll be going over next week's on Monday, just so we can get a nice little recap of how this week's went, and then we'll give an introduction to what the following week's matches will be. If you are an all-star, please stand up. Steph Curry is amazing. Tyler Hero can shoot a 3-ball like no one else this weekend. Mac McClellan won it again. He jumped over a goddamn car. And the Cleveland Cavaliers won the skills challenge. The Spurs got disqualified because they did some real janky, like if this was the ball, like that. They didn't attempt to shoot the ball, so they disqualified them because it goes 3, free throw, corner with the little distraction windmill, and then they just so they said it doesn't count because you just went and you have to actually shoot the basketball and try to make it. And bro, I'll tell you what, these guys did it in a minute, and it was fast. They were making shots. Evan Mobley was making, hey, He was draining it, man. It was pretty sick. And the passes. They're so tall. Oh my God, they are so tall. It's so ridiculous. But as far as the All-Star game, what went down was I looked into it and I figured out that we had 4 teams. It was Team Chuck, Team Kenny, Candace, and Shaq. It started with Team Chuck beating Team Kenny 41-32. I did forget to mention it actually wasn't like a race to the time. It was a race to points. So it was first to 41. As far as the other matchup that we had, it was Team Shaq versus Team Candace. Team Shaq did win 42, and they beat them by, what is that, 9? I believe it. No, that's bad math. It was 42-35. The final match was Team Shaq versus Team Chuck, and Team Shaq waxed them 41-25. Steph Curry did win the Kobe Bryant All-Star MVP trophy. It was pretty cool. I mean, the three-point contest was interesting. Cam Johnson had 14. Jalen Brunson had 16. Dame Lillard got knocked out first round. Who else got knocked out first round? Buddy Hield had 31 points. That was pretty amazing. Tyler Hero had like 24, I believe, in the first. And then it came down to Darius Garland was in it. He was wet with it, man. I'll tell you what. The releases are crazy. All the forms are very interesting to see. At the end of the day, though, or the evening, that evening, which was yesterday evening. No, that was Saturday evening. Tyler Hero took home the three-point contest win. And then we move on to the dunk. I'll sprinkle onto a little bit, I guess. Mac won. He got 350s in a row. It was ridiculous. He started it off by jumping over a goddamn car backwards. And then, no, he jumped over it, grabbed the ball, and then put the ball in backwards. It looked like he went backwards because he fell at the end. And then, it's crazy. Evolution at its finest, people. The other gentleman had some pretty cool dunks. My boy, what was his name? The cat from the Spurs. He had some good ones. Jackson Jr., he hit the rim real hard. I'll tell you what, he hit the rim real hard. And that cat from the Bulls, he tried his hardest, man. He really did. I don't know what happened. But yeah, Mac won the dunk contest. That is your All-Star Weekend recap. The other news of NBA is that the next game will be on Wednesday. It is a rescheduled game between the Lakers and Charlotte or Carolina. The Hornets, I forget. They are rescheduled. That was a game rescheduled because of the Pacific Palisade fires. The next upcoming games will be on Thursday. Be expecting 9 games on Thursday. That'll be the start for the second half of this season. I did want to give a little standings update. In the East, we have Cleveland, Boston, New York Knicks, Indy, Milwaukee, Detroit, Orlando, Atlanta, Miami, and Chicago. Those will be the top 10. Naturally, the top 6 will automatically make it to the playoffs, and then those last 4 teams will be making it into the play-in series. For the West, we have Oklahoma, Memphis, Denver, Houston, the Lakers, the Clippers of Los Angeles, Minnesota, Dallas, Sacramento, and Golden State. Once this second half starts, we'll see. It's all about health. I wonder how many games Embiid will miss, just because it really doesn't matter. They're doing, I don't know what they're doing over there. And then you don't know about Luka. Don't count us out, I'm telling you. Everybody was there, though. All the faces, most of the faces. It was cool. Everybody looked like they had fun. I don't know about the whole game setup. I saw some criticism on, the stoppage. I mean, I understand. We could do better, NBA. I feel like. But they did a pretty good job. I think we need better competition in the dunk, but Mac, he did that thing. Shout out Mac. Yeah! College baseball. This weekend, those tournaments were still a tournamenting. We had the last days of those tournaments. Saturday, not really. Nothing happened. Nobody that was ranked lost. Nothing cool happened. Oregon lost to Toledo, though. That was kind of cool. Sunday, more stuff happened. Number 8th ranked Georgia, holy moly, lost to UNC Wilmington 6-2. James Madison got their butts whooped off by Florida State, who's ranked 9th, 10-0. Just thought I'd highlight that cool shutout. Cincinnati beat Duke, ranked 11th, 19-5. Ole Miss beat Clemson, ranked 15th, 15-5. Texas did beat Oklahoma State. Texas is ranked 19th. Oklahoma State is ranked 17th. They beat them 14-8. Louisville beat Arizona 13-1. Arizona's ranked 21st. Michigan, those Wolverines, they beat Villanova 19-0. Once again, highlighted shutout. There were also just some highlights I wanted to mention over the weekend. These clubs, if you will, these baseball clubs of the college level, they had a pretty good weekend. Purdue, 4-0. ASU, 3-0. Kansas, 3-0. USC, 3-0. Utah, 3-0. UCLA, 3-0. West Virginia, 3-0. The Wolverines, 3-0. The Horned Frogs of TCU, 3-0. Oregon State Cowboys. Just kidding. That's Oklahoma State. Oregon State is the Beavers. They're also 3-0. Along with Baylor, 3-0. We have a lot of good stuff going on today. We have 14 games. The one that I really wanted to highlight, that's the closest one, Nebraska versus GCU, is going to be amazing. Keep an eye out on it. I don't think it'll be that outlandish of a score. I'm leaning on the pitching. Don't sleep on the under. That's the wrap for baseball. We're moving on to softball. All the tournaments have wrapped up for softball officially. There's just one more game today, and that is for the Fresno State Kickoff Classic. That'll be Utah and Fresno State today. On Saturday, similar to baseball, really no ranked teams lost. The only ones to really kind of mention are Auburn beat Oklahoma State, who's ranked 10th, 2-1. San Diego State beat Missouri, who's ranked 16, 5-2. And then on Sunday, we had Duke. I told y'all to not sleep on Duke. They beat Florida, 8-1. Florida is no longer undefeated. They are 13-1. UCLA, the Lady Bruins, they fell to just Virginia, the University of Virginia. UCLA is ranked 4th. They lost 7-6. Louisville beat Florida Atlantic 4, and I forgot to write the score down, but I'm pretty sure it was a 0. If not, it was a 2. That's basically the wrap for softball. It was a really cool weekend to see these ladies keep on in the tournaments. Once again, just like to wish all the schools safe travels back home if you're traveling for your tournaments or anything, so that we can get this regular season off and running. And then, whew, there's so much though. There's so many games to be played. There's like a couple double headers this weekend, and now it's like, oh my gosh, they're already doing this, and some of these people aren't even at home playing double headers. It's a lot of baseball and softball. Moving on to baseball, though, just a little introduction. Spring training is just around the corner. On Thursday, the Cubs and the Dodgers face off at 12:05 Pacific. I don't know who's going to be playing, but it's the first game. It's cool. Baseball starting as well. Here we go. College basketball was sick this weekend. a lot of games to recap. A lot of things happened. As far as ranked people that were going down and having a blast, we had Auburn ranked number 1 beat Alabama ranked number 2, 94-85. Broome had 19 and 14 rebounds. Nelson had 12 points and 12 rebounds. The names will just be highest scores for the teams. A lot of teams. Duke waxed Stanford 106-70. Proctor had 23. Raymond had 19 points and 7 rebounds. Florida ranked 4th. Waxed South Carolina 88-67. Haug had 20 points and 6 rebounds. Wright had 13 points. Tennessee ranked 5th beat Vandy 81-76. Ziegler had 22 points, 8 assists. Gary had 18 points, 7 rebounds. I did want to highlight there was a bit of a stir up with the Vandy. There was a gentleman that had the single point record, 55 points. Congratulations. Way to ball out, young man. Onward, Houston ranked 6th, beat Arizona ranked 7th, 62-58. Zana had 19 points. Love had 17 points, 7 assists. Wisconsin upset, beat Purdue. Wisconsin 16th, Purdue 7th. Wisconsin beat them 94-84. Tonje had 32 points, 7 rebounds. Kaufman had 30 points. High-scoring points games for the lads. Texas A&M, they beat Arkansas 69-61. Texas A&M's ranked 8th. Knox had 17 points. Taylor had 18 points, 9 assists, 3 steals. Iowa State beat Cincinnati. Iowa State's ranked 10th. 81-70. Jones 22 points, 6 rebounds. James 25. Michigan State beat Illinois 79-65. Kohler had 23 points, 10 rebounds. Johnson Jr. had 17 points. Izzo passed Mr. Knight in the Big Ten most wins by a coach. Congratulations, Coach Izzo. Texas Tech beat Oklahoma State 93-55. Toppin with 32 points, 12 rebounds, 3 blocks. Avery with 13 points. Kentucky lost to Texas, unranked. Kentucky's 15. They lost 82-78. Williams, 18 points, 12 rebounds. Johnson, 32 points, 9 boards. Kansas lost to Utah Utes. Utah Utes are dogs. I'll tell you what. Kansas thought they were going to walk into Utah and beat the Utes down, and they said, no way, Jose. This is our mountain, and this is where we play basketball. They beat them 74-67. Mayo had 15 points, 6 rebounds. Madsen had 24 points. He set a Utah record. Congratulations, young man. Mississippi State beat Ole Miss. Bit of a burner. Melendez with 17 points. Murray with 14 points. Missouri beat Georgia 87-74. Robinson 15 points, 7 assists, 4 steals. Newell 23 points, 3 rebounds, 3 blocks. No, 23 points, 10 rebounds, 3 blocks. Jesus. Clemson beat Florida State 62-46. Schleflin, I think that's his name, 14 points, 12 rebounds, and Watkins with 14 points, 7 boards. On Sunday, we had Crichton facing St. John. St. John beat Crichton 79-73. Ashworth with 23 points and 11 assists. R.J. Louis Jr., 23 points, 14 rebounds. Memphis lost to Wichita State, unranked. Memphis is 14th, coached by Penny Hardaway. Penny Hardaway. Jesus, I almost put... Yeah, Penny Hardaway. Cisse had 12 points, 14 rebounds, 5 blocks. Ballard had 19.7 rebounds and 4 blocks. Michigan beat Ohio State. Michigan is ranked 20th. Ohio State is not ranked. 86 to 83. And then Maryland beat Iowa. 25th ranked Maryland beat non-ranked Ohio. Not really significant, but they also beat them 101 to 75, which I thought was kind of significant. That's a bit of a meaning statement win right there. That's your recap for men's college basketball. Onward to a little bit of the women's game. On Saturday, we had Kansas State, ranked 14th, beat UCF 97 to 67. Sides with 21.6 assists for steals. Acott, 12 points, 6 rebounds. West Virginia beat Cincinnati 69 to 50. Quinterly, 29 points, and Hayes, 20 points, 10 rebounds. Oklahoma State lost to BYU. Oklahoma State is ranked 20th. They lost 68 to 64. Magasa, 13 points, 7 rebounds, 3 blocks. Calvert, 19 points, 7 rebounds. On Sunday, we had UCLA fare off against Michigan State. UCLA is 1. Michigan State is 22nd. They lost to UCLA. UCLA won 75 to 69. A-Roll had 18. Barker had 18 and 12 boards. LSU lost to Texas. LSU is ranked 5th. Texas is ranked 3rd. They lost 65 to 58. Morrow had 15 points, 20 rebounds, and 3 steals. Booker had 16 and 10 rebounds. UConn beat South Carolina in South Carolina. UConn is ranked 7th. South Carolina is ranked 4th. They beat them 87 to 58. Flood with 28 points. Edwards with 17 points. UConn went on to snap a 4-year home win streak that South Carolina had. Now we're on, and we're moving. USC beat Washington 69 to 64. Watkins with 17 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists. Seller with 24 points. NC State and University of North Carolina. The Battle of the North Carolina. NC State, ranked 10th, lost to ranked 12th North Carolina. 66 to 65, came down to the wire. Rivers with 14 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 blocks. Kelly with 23 points. Florida State, ranked 23rd, played Miami. Battle of that Florida Strip, if you will. Florida State won. They're ranked 23rd. Miami's not ranked, like I said. 83 to 82. Came down to a close one. Gordon with 34 points and 7 assists. Cavender, 27, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists. That's it for your recap on college basketball. We're moving forward. We're getting days and days closer to March, so keep an eye out for who will be advancing, and then we can start possibly looking into filling out some brackets. All right. Next on the agenda, we have the Four Nations Tournament. Holy crap. Did you watch that? If not, you missed a barn burner, an absolute chaotic mess that turned into a historic evening for the country of the United States of America. It all started early at 10 a.m. when the Finland Warriors battled the Swedish Warriors. And I'll tell you what, they went to overtime. And Mikael Granlund had that overtime goal. What a lad. On to the second game of Saturday. We had at 5 p.m. USA versus Canada. If you had the game on for at least the first 30 seconds, you had to have been standing If not, you're absolutely insane, especially as an American. As a Canadian, I understand, but even the hype of just all the energy and everything about that just got the people going. As far as the remainder of the game, the single goal that the Canadians had was by Connor McJesus himself. The USA had 3 fights in the first 9 seconds. The Tkachuk brothers put their hands on these boys, and then JT Miller almost put somebody to sleep right on the ice. It ended up being a close one. It was 1-1 for the first, and then the USA got the second in the second period, and then they finished them off. Just like that, the US has advanced to the championship game on Thursday. We do have more games today. At 10 a.m. Pacific, we have the Canadians playing, maybe even fighting Finland. And then we have the Swedens playing the US of A at 5 p.m. If you'd like to tune in, those will be on TNT. As far as the remainder of the week for hockey, once again, we're on a bit of a hiatus. So the boys are all there. And if they're not there, they're probably at home getting some rest, getting some recovery, wellness, love, happiness. Chef Boyardee, who knows. But we'll stay tuned to see who advances along with the U.S. to get to this championship game. The U.S. is number 1. I'm pretty sure that the last time I checked, it was U.S., Canada, Sweden, Finland. But with the Finland win, I'm pretty sure that may have advanced them over Canada. So right now, it should look something like USA, Finland, Canada, Sweden. We will see. As far as we know, those are your hockey for today. The final thing we'll be covering today will be the Unrivaled series, the league made by the ladies for the ladies, played by the ladies. On Friday, we talked about the 1v1 tournament that was going on, and the winner of that was Nafisa Collier. Congratulations. She bested Miss Aaliyah Edwards. With that, she got a nice little congratulations at stakes. First 1v1 tournament, first win, first time, first for everything. She also took home a $200,000 purse. Not bad, not a Birkin, but that's how much she won. That was pretty exciting. A lot of congratulations to all the ladies that showed up and played some ball. They played their heart out as they usually do. And now we're going to just keep rolling on forward onto the season. We only have a couple weeks left, but it's been very, very interesting. For the first time season, it's been one for the books. Naturally, everybody's going to have their ons and offs, but it's been really cool to see a different platform of 3v3. Very cool. Tomorrow, February 18th, we do have 2 games. We have the Rose versus Vinyl at 7:30 Eastern. And then we have the Phantom versus the Laces at 8:30 Eastern. Tune into those, I'm pretty sure, on HBO Max, and there might be a separate streaming channel on YouTube TV, but you can always check that out. As far as the rankings, currently we have the Lunar Owls at 8 wins, 0 losses. The Laces in second with 4 wins and 3 losses. Rose at 3 wins, 4 losses. Vinyl at 3 wins, 4 losses as well. Phantom at 2 wins, 5 losses, and in last place we have Mist, the Mist Club with 2 wins and 6 losses. We do, like I mentioned, only have a couple weeks left, so a lot of these clubs can definitely have a strong finish and make sure they kind of contend a little better, or more so than they are, trying their best. You're doing great. As far as the teams, if you're not too aware of how the teams have been broken up for player-wise, for the Owls, we have Cameron Brink, and then we have Alicia Gray, Courtney Williams, Skylar Diggins-Smith, Shakira Austin, and Nafisa Collier. For the Laces, we have Tiffany Hayes, Jackie Young, Kayla McBride, Kate Martin, Stephanie Dolson, and Alyssa Thomas. For the Rose, we have Brittany Sykes, Azuria Stevens, Aaliyah Copper, Angel Reese, Lexi Hull, and Chelsea Gray. For Vinyl, we have Ryan Howard, Aaliyah Boston, Ray Burrell, Akirike Ogumbowale, Jordan Canada, and Dearica Hamby. For Phantom, we have Satu Sabale, Sabrina Ionescu, Marina Marbury, Natasha Cloud, Katie Lou Samuelson, and Brittany Griner. Finally, for the missed, we have Dejanae Carrington, Courtney Vandersloot, Aaliyah Edwards, Brianna Stewart, and Jewel Lloyd, followed by Rikeya Jackson. That's basically your teams and your basic update for what's been going on, because they have had a little bit of a break for the 1v1 tournament. They'll be off and running tomorrow. We will give you an update for those on Wednesday, as well as a update to the the next games furthermore throughout the season. Stay tuned. It's going to be a really good thing to watch. Love to see ball anytime, anywhere. Love it. Just wanted to say thank you for watching today's episode. I hope you enjoyed. If you can, make sure you try to catch some of these sporting events. But if you can't, don't worry. That's why we're here. All ball, all the time. Take it easy. Have a good one.